Ever since I saw a picture of this thing, a massive sandstone pit filled with the brightest orange sand I've ever seen, I knew I had to see it for myself. After learning of its general location, I was able to locate it on this remote sandstone bluff deep in Utah's harsh desert. Strangely enough, I noticed on Google Earth it looks quite a lot like the Dragon's Eye from Antelope Canyon, which is an interesting coincidence. Now, the only problem is going to be actually getting there, which is going to require traveling far on rough roads and on foot through an extremely remote and rugged desert. But I think the trip will be worth it to see this unique place in person and hopefully figure out how such a thing could even form. All right, so we had to park back there, and we are now walking in this pretty deep sand, and it's super windy and cold. But I think that's kind of the thing. No matter summer or winter, it's going to be a hard hike, because in the summer it's probably 100 degrees during the day and there's no shade. And in the winter right now, it is just frigid cold. What else is cool is all over the trail are these little iron concretions that they call Moki balls, and they're just covering the trail. They're everywhere. So I also think we're gonna be seeing lots of Moki balls today. So already I've been using dune-like metaphors for everything out here. If you haven't seen the Dune movies, I apologize. To me, when I saw the pictures of that orange pit, like, I just could not believe how orange that sand is. I still don't know if it's photo edited from everyone who's been there, but that's why we're going there today, is to see if it's really that orange. If it is, it looks like spice, and this walking through sand sure feels like Dune. We've now transitioned out of the sand onto the slick rock, and it's pretty expansive. We're just going to be walking on this stuff for a long ways. We're still a couple miles out, it seems, from where I think it is. Once we get to the pit, I'll probably talk a lot more about it, how it was formed and stuff. Beautiful out here. Here's a cool bit of geology. It looks like the rock is just being painted with a brush stroke here, which is pretty cool. Pretty sure this is just caused by some of the layers of sandstone being bleached of that red iron, but I'm not quite sure. To anyone who likes desert plants like I do, this is a pretty notable one for out here. This is a pinyon pine, and they, as you can see, they're covered in these like pine cones, and inside the pine cones are these pine nuts, and those are actually edible and were a staple food for the Native Americans who lived out here. And a lot of people still harvest them and eat them today. Like, they're not terrible. But yeah, this is a very important tree. They occur across the landscape, as you can see.
Here's a spot where the rock is fractured into kind of a checkerboard pattern, kind of just like on Checkerboard Mesa in Zion. So quiet out here. Only the sounds of nature except for one thing. The jets flying overhead. Other than that, it's like you can't see a single trace of human habitation as far as the eye can see out there. Like it's super rugged. I think the sandstone we're walking on is some more Navajo sandstone. A sandstone that was deposited during the Jurassic Age, during the time of the dinosaurs, when the western United States was kind of like the Sahara Desert. We've just been hiking on slick rock for like 2 or 3 miles now. It's gonna be kind of hard to find because from what I could tell from Google Earth and any images I've seen is it doesn't really like protrude out of the ground at all. It's just a hole straight into the ground. Also, I think I just realized that I didn't specifically point out that I got a new camera in the last video, but I did buy a new camera to use alongside my GoPro. So now hopefully some of the image quality for like, I don't know, the landscape shots and stuff like that will be better. This is thanks to all you guys watching for me being able to upgrade my gear, so thank you. Similar to the Moki balls, sometimes you get these black plates of iron that also are pretty cool. As you can see here, they're just like in a big pile where they probably eroded out of a layer of sandstone. Okay, is it just me? There's this little section, look a lot like the wave. Look at that layering. And then also, I found the place where the stuff is eroding out of the sandstone, like I said. So you can see it just happening right there. We're getting close. Definitely don't see it yet. But I scrambled up to this high point to take a look. And this is one of the best 360s I've ever gotten. So that's kind of the area we came from. Got big mountains that way, and then a huge plain. So I think it's over there somewhere. I don't know if it's right behind these little buttes or I don't know. Got a pretty wacky looking butte up here for more of this iron. Look at that. It's so spiky. See these huge blades of it. That is sweet. And it's just made this cascading waterfall of iron. I think this might be it. Oh yeah. Okay, here's my view. That is big. I'm gonna come right around the corner. Whoa! There it is. Too bad it's winter. It's mostly in the shade, but that's still so beautiful. And the sand is so orange, it is. Those pictures were not lying. Wow. That is so much bigger than I thought. And it's so much oranger than I thought. I don't understand why that sand is so much oranger than any we've seen it otherwise. It's probably some sort of optical thing with it being down this pit. Wow. Wow. It looks even oranger on this camera, I can already tell. The color's better. It is cold in here. The wind is like swirling, which I think is part of how it formed, which I looked it up on the way and I'll talk about it in a minute, but I just can't believe this is real. It looks so unreal. So, it was kind of hard to find information about this place online because it's obviously way in the middle of nowhere. And a lot of people said you would need a rope to get onto the sand, but I'm looking here and pretty small ledge with some very defined handholds. I'm assuming from search and rescue putting those there after people have gotten stuck in here, and yeah, I'll be able to go down in there. Woo! Made it. All right, we both made it in, which I affirmed is the hard part, making it in, not out. There's the steps out. But look at this. It's cool because every time someone sees this place, it's different because the dune is constantly changing. So this dune is unique to us today. This feature in the middle is wild too. It's so big. In pictures it looks small, but it is not small. This sidewall is just a tapestry of cool rock swirls. Wow, yeah, that's so cool. It's just been sculpted. This sand is so orange, I swear, it's spice. It looks exactly like spice from Dune. This is amazing. Take you guys a little bit closer to this crazy rock wall that's been sculpted by wind and water. We got some pretty cool patterns here up on this wall. Mother Nature's art. There's a view back that way. This wall is almost even better. Look at those swirls. This is unbelievable. Here's these patterns up close. Again, very impressive stuff. Almost made a full circle of the thing. This island in the middle. Trying to get some photos as I go. Oh, this is a good view of it. Woo! That looks so cool, man. way easier. So, how did this thing form? I read up on it, and it seems like the geologists really aren't sure. But their best idea is that this thing is an old rincon, which a rincon is like when a river meander gets cut off. I'll put a image of one of those up. And then after that rincon formed, when there used to be a river flowing over this area, it formed this pit here, and then the wind and water that was like kind of swirling around that rincon eventually created this. So obviously water is not a big play anymore, because it's not going to go anywhere once it gets in there and it's just going to evaporate. But wind is just swirling in here. Like the whole time we were in there, we could feel it. It just swirls, and that etches out the walls even more. So it probably started way up there as a little divot with a rock in the middle, and then just kept digging itself down with wind and water over a long amount of time. The other thing that's really cool about this place is I feel like it has an infinite possibility for names. I called it the Spice Pit. I feel like you could also call it the Sarlacc Pit from Star Wars. But I don't know. Comment what you would name this thing. You know, if you got to choose. All right, after a frigid trudge back in the wind, we made it to where we parked, and actually saw some other people on the way that were heading out there. Wow, that was really cool. If you enjoyed this adventure, I have some other Southwest adventures right here that you guys would probably like, pretty similar to this video. So go check those out if you like this one. And thank you for watching to the end. This was a fun trip. I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time.